Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Before we get into the video we got another guest on. We thought we wanted to share with you some big news. I don't know if you can see me and Ben are currently wearing some black hoodies with the Blue Podcast on. We've got some merch dropping. It'll be released when you see this video. We're going to show you the website and the promotion before right now. So hopefully you guys like it. All right. So this is the first bit of promotion we've got. We got hoodies. Website is at the bottom there, if you can see. HTTPS : is that?
Yeah.
/ teespring.com/stores/ the Blue Podcast. So that's kind of our merch. We decided to do two because both of our faces are showing it off. And then we've also got the website to show you. Where is that? Oh, that's just the Zoom. Okay, here it is, the website. Just got our YouTube banner and our logo at the start. So these are the products. Hopefully it's clear for you to see. We got the dog hoodie for any pets out there that want to wear our merch. Obviously, me and Ben have got two dogs, so we want to get them in there at some point. So that's the hoodie here that we're currently wearing. Low. We got lots of different colors. There we go. So it comes in black, white with the logo on the back. We call this off pink. Like a darker blue, like a light grey, and then a dark grey. So that's for anyone that wants a hoodie. We've got socks, two different types. These ones are the sporty socks, and these ones are just normal white socks. Again, coming in lots of different colours, just whatever you guys are feeling. And obviously, it would just be great to see you guys in the merch at some point. We've got our tees. Again, different colours. Like we kind of designed all this stuff as kind of, apart from the socks really, just any colour on the socks, but we kind of designed these for stuff we would wear. Hopefully you guys like it. I'm just going to scroll through the colours. We've got masks.
Quite simple in uniform as well.
Exactly, yeah. We didn't want to just have loads of random stuff kind of everywhere and anywhere. We wanted to make it like more of a clothing that you'd want to wear out than just plastering our logo everywhere, basically. Yeah. So this is the mask. Again, comes in different colors. I'm going to be saying this a lot. White, grey, pink, and blue. Got to keep safe out there, so that's what we got those. This is the premium hoodie. Only comes in white. It's got the art from our YouTube banner, and the only way we could get that on there was if it was a white hoodie. So this one's a little bit more expensive, but not by much. We made sure that the prices for these were as low as we possibly could make them. We got mugs, white and grey, keeping it simple. Logos on the back. This is the jumper. It's not a hoodie, clearly. It's not got a hood on. And so we kind of came stuck with the same design, and we quite liked all the stuff we made. This is the long sleeve t-shirt. Just kind of simple.
You wear long sleeves.
I like wearing my long sleeve t-shirts. I don't think I've actually worn one in a podcast yet, though. And then we got lots of phone colors for the phone cases, because I mean, who knows what people want. And we've got them for Samsung and iPhone. All phones, I'm pretty sure they're all there. All the recent ones, at least, I think. Yeah, it goes back to iPhone 6. So yeah. That's kind of what we wanted to show you guys. The link will be in the description of this video to go buy something. We'd obviously really appreciate it. There's literally no money coming to us. So we're not hoping to make money out of it. We just want to put our brand out there. So yeah, cheers.
Cool.
For it.
Hi guys, welcome to the Blue Podcast. This is with, sorry, I didn't ask for your name at the start. This is bad. Mark, in it? No. What's your name?
Which one, me or
sorry,
Ben, it's not got my name up on the thing. I'm Adam.
Adam, sorry, I got confused. That's my bad. Yeah, Adam from the Mad Red United channel.
That's the one.
We'll have his link in the description, so make sure you guys should go check him out. It's obviously great to have him on the podcast. make sure you like the video and subscribe if you're new around here. I'd really appreciate it. And also go check out our Twitter at The Blue Podcast and send us a DM if you ever want to be on. 50% of you guys are still not subscribed that are watching our videos, so make sure you just hit that button. It is free. Why have I gone so white? Why am I so white?
Yeah, we've taken the darkness off you, mate. You've taken it off us.
All right. Yeah, let's get into the video. What are you guys' thoughts on start with the Europa League? That was quite recent.
I mean, it was a big. After we finished the season against Leicester, he was thinking, right, that's it. A bit of a 2-week break. Then we go into the Europa League, throw everything into it. And it just was a big anticlimax in the end for me because I didn't think we played well. We had moments against Seville, obviously, that everyone's noted and everyone's aware of. But ultimately, we broke down and we failed where it mattered. And that was, for me, it's all about the mentality with this team at the moment. And we just haven't got that killer instinct. And that, in the end, proved critical for us because we didn't put our chances away, and then we had the lapse at the back, which we always seem to do every game. We have one, and nearly every team we play against punishes us for it. And story of the season, really, in one game, that Seville game, looking good in spells, but then when it comes to the crunch, just not quite there. And I was disappointing. But kind of expected in a way. You didn't know which United was going to turn up, and a bit of both on the last game of the season. And in the end, big anticlimax.
Fair enough. I mean, he did lose to the winners, so it's not the end of the world. But,
no, we didn't score an own goal, did we, Romelu? So
exactly.
it was a bit of
Yeah. Well, I was going to touch on that. How many ex-United players were in the final? Is it three? 3 or 4?
We had Young, Sanchez, Lukaku, and if you're counting Herrera in the Champions League final as well. So, all in all, we had about half. We had a third of a team out in the finals. We've done something wrong, I think, haven't we?
Yeah. I always think it's a bit harsh because I think, I understand all like the criticisms and all that, but I think it's because United used to be so up there. Sometimes the criticism can be a bit harsh because they are developing. But I mean, at the same time, obviously, you want to go and win it, so it's kind of a bit of 50-50 in sort of the way you look at it, I think. But I think it's that age-old thing that has been said all season that your starting 11 is fantastic, and then your substitutes are just not quite at it, which is why you need that investment and stuff. I think. Yeah,
the investment that's not coming. I mean, Benjamin, you're a Chelsea fan.
No, he's a City fan. I'm the Chelsea fan.
Oh, you're a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
What's you, Benjamin? You sit there.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, there are 3 teams that are probably the most intriguing at the moment to be looking at. But you nailed it in one pretty much. Our first team can compete with anyone on the day. I mean, there's anyone in that league would take a Pogba and Bruno combination on the day. Just that day just doesn't seem to work along with the forwards day or the defences day. It's like there's no cohesion from front to back. It has got better, I'm not going to lie. It has got a lot better, and the football's good to watch, but ultimately you want to win the games, and we've just fallen short. 3 semi-finals, that keeps getting brought up a lot.
We mentioned that in our last podcast because we had a United fan on then.
3 semi-finals, you've got to 3 semi-finals. Yeah, but you lost 3 semi-finals. Which way you look at it, it's half full or half empty in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, we smashed you guys off the park apart from one game in a cup all season. But they were the games that ultimately we really needed to win more in terms of the cups. City smashed us at home, won the cup, and Chelsea smashed us at Wembley and won the cup. There's the semi-finals there. So, yeah, they were the big occasions. Second leg against City, you can't even really count that. But it was a foregone conclusion. It was over already. But then we just didn't turn up against Chelsea in the semi-final. That seems, after that game, we just seemed to be dead. We just absolutely looked dead on our feet. And it was just like watching other teams. They've all played the same amount of games, if not a little bit more. And they seem to have a little bit more spring about them. But for some reason, we just seem to use this tiredness excuse all the time. And we look like we just completely run out of steam towards the end of the season. And having had 3 months off, I as a mere mortal, I can't understand how you can have 3 months off and be tired. I'm not having it. It's just, I'm old school, I suppose, but that's just how I see it. I'm back to the Robbo days, me, and they'd run through brick walls 3-4 times a week for you and not even think about it. Then go and have a pint after the game and come back 2 days later. But them days are long gone, and it just caught up with us physically. I think more mentally than anything else. And like you said, Benjamin, we need backing. We need more players. We need more squad depth. And that showed towards the end of the season because the options were limited in the end. First team good, the rest of it we're struggling.
Yeah, fair enough. Should we touch on the actual final, the Europa League final?
I thought you were going to say Champions League then, like the actual.
No, we'll talk about it in a second. Entertaining first half, I have to say. I didn't watch the game. Unfortunately, I was busy, so I was kind of leaving. I think you watched it, Ben, didn't you?
I watched it, yeah.
Yeah, we'll touch on it.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, exciting first half, and then I don't know, it just sort of tailed off a bit the first part of the second half, and I think Inter started to play. Their play just kind of disintegrated, really, and then obviously Sevilla, like Europa League FC, found a way. But there was a lot of controversy because the guy who's over a kick that was deflected in was a player that could have been sent off.
Yeah, that should have probably been a red card.
I think it was a red card because they were arguing that they could have recovered or something. But,
I mean, you could look at it same in the semi-final against us. Not just saying it because I'm a United fan, but how that foul on Rashford for the penalty wasn't a yellow or a red. If it was a foul, then it's a yellow at least because he's halfway up his leg, and he should have been sent off for that. But then the guy got yellow carded about half an hour later and should have been sent off. But the final, to be honest, the finals and semi-finals were all really good. Well, I think it's the comeback of all comebacks for Lopetegui, the Seville man. I didn't even realise it was him.
For sure, yeah.
Sacked by Real Madrid and Spain in the space of 5 months and then comes back like that. No one would touch you with a barge pole, really, with that resume. But tell you what, you've got to give him credit, aren't you, for coming back and getting them into the Champions League before the Europa League final as well. Let's not forget that. He qualified already. And then to go into the final and actually win it, or in the competition actually win it, that is, you've got to hold your hands up and say, credit where it's due, because I didn't see that coming and he's come back with a bang.
Oh, yes, definitely. I didn't, again, until the final, I didn't know he was the manager.
You wouldn't have, would you? You wouldn't have.
No. Should we move on to Champions League then? Just talk about the final, because I think me and Ben spoke about the City loss before in a recent podcast. Bit of an anticlimax to the Champions League. I mean, watched the Europa League, quite entertaining. Final, first half especially. And then we watched the two most attacking teams in the whole world, and it's a 1-0 stalemate.
Yeah, it was one of them, wasn't it? You've seen a team there sort of defend against the attacking prowess that both of them teams have got, and how you nullify quality players, and that shows in a quality setup. That's what I think Bayern had in a ball. You just looked at Bayern and you went, you're not losing. I just don't see this team losing. The mentality and the setup, the amount of games they've won in a row, it's frightening. The unbeaten run, it's not an unbeaten run, it's a winning run.
Yeah. They win every game in the Champions League.
Yeah. The first team ever. So they broke every single record going. And you know what? You look at Neuer, he looked back to his best again. He's had his wobbles and his years.
Lewandowski.
Hansi Flick came in, changed everything around, brought Muller back into the game. Muller had disappeared off the planet for Bayern Munich, but then he came in and just treated Muller like he should be treated. Go and do what you want. Go and win us a game. Go and control a game. And then you've got the best striker in the world up front.
Oh, yeah.
Lewandowski. And then you're going to add Sane to that in the summer. Oh my! I mean, that's how you run a football club.
Oh
It's
yeah.
scary. I know it's probably they just seem to nitpick the best of every German player out of the German league every season, don't they? When the season finishes, they take anyone who's anyone and dominate that league. But they still do the same thing in Europe. So best team in Europe by a country mile at the moment. And even with PSG's quality up front, we didn't really see it.
No.
And that's just because of how good. I mean, you've got Boateng playing for you, for God's sake. How are you looking decent with that guy at the back? Even went off injured, but they just look absolute rock solid from the back to the front line, and they're just doing what big clubs do. They're adding to it. They're not sitting on the laurels, and they will be the team to beat in the Champions League next season.
For sure.
By country mile.
Well, that's kind of touched on what I was thinking. There's like with Liverpool, they haven't really done what Bayern Munich have done and brought in another quality player to add to their team to make it even better. They're just trying to maintain what they have. I mean, what's your opinions on that? Both of you.
Yeah, I mean, I think Liverpool have fallen into the trap, personally. I really do. I think they've fallen into the United trap when we didn't invest and we didn't back up our squad. I mean, I look at it this way. I said it the other day on my channel, actually. I said, Chelsea now and what Chelsea are doing. If Chelsea lose a midfielder, you guys are not sweating. Let's be honest. The amount of talent in that Chelsea midfield is ridiculous. There's players, I can name about 4, and they ain't getting in the starting lineup that would get into every team below them. I mean, if you can go through Loftus-Cheek to Gilmour all the way through, you've got Mount, Pulisic, Kovacic, Kante, Jorginho. I mean, it doesn't stop. So if they lose a midfielder, you're not really sweating that much. You're investing in the forward line as well, and you're doing what big clubs should do. I'm looking at Liverpool and going, if they lose Mane and Salah, that's it. I don't see them challenging. I really don't. No. I don't think the cover is as good. They're like United, but they don't seem to get injuries, Liverpool. They're like this anomaly.
Yeah, they do.
They never get injuries. I don't know what it is. They're insanely lucky, or they've just got some magic wand. City are doing it now. City realised what they did last year when they didn't replace Kompany or put someone in to replace Kompany, because Laporte went down, the best player, and it was clear. It was clear as day. Even when Aguero's not fit, it looks like they're not the same team. Liverpool are not doing it for me. I think I wouldn't have Liverpool as favourites next season. I put City back up as favourites. And then I think Chelsea are even challenging Liverpool right now. We're way behind, stuck in 4th, I think.
If you invest
in the market, because we got 4th last season, we got 3rd season level with Chelsea, and we've not improved the squad. We're a Bruno or Pogba injury away from 5th or 6th in the league, in my opinion. And this is why I think Liverpool are going to struggle, because 1 injury or 2 injuries, it can happen, even a Van Dijk, and then it all goes to pot. It really does. I don't understand why they're not investing, whether the American owners there are thinking like our American owners and trying to save money where they can. But I do feel like that could really come back to bite Liverpool on the arse this season. I fancy City more. I think their squad is better than Liverpool's, and I think Chelsea's squad is catching up now.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to ask you about that later, because we did our last podcast was a top 4 debate. So where do we think everyone's going to be? So I was going to ask you what your opinion was, but yeah, you've hit the nail on the head on what we thought as well. We all thought City's going to win again. Liverpool aren't really putting enough in. They'll probably still challenge for second, but maybe even easily get second. If they, as you're saying, if they don't invest, they might struggle with a lot of teams that win Premier Leagues and then the next season they don't invest do.
Yeah, exactly.
We desperately need to get Koulibaly. Desperately. I mean, I'd be a lot more confident about saying City first if we get Koulibaly. Because if we don't, I think that I wouldn't put us first if we don't get Koulibaly, to be honest.
You're not scared he's going to be like that, the next
Mangala. Yeah. I mean, anything's good enough at the moment. We just need someone. We just need someone.
What are the City thoughts on the likes of Garcia? Is he good enough? Does he need another season? Or
I think he's got potential, to be honest. He's obviously a Guardiola type centre back. But like obviously he's not world class now, but I think he has got potential to be a decent defender, and he also complements Laporte quite well.
Yeah. Well, I read somewhere that with following on from Koulibaly, apparently you guys aren't putting in a good enough bid for him currently, which is why it's the talks have gone quite stagnant.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll up it at some point.
Yeah, they will.
They're saving all the money to put two fingers up at UEFA and then go and buy Messi for 500 million.
Well, yeah, I was about to.
It's major news.
Yeah, the big news right now about Messi saying he put in a transfer request. I think it could be. I think I spoke to Ben about this earlier. It could just be him getting rid of the president, which he's now got rid of, just because he really didn't like him. And if him putting in transfer requests would make Barcelona go, you know what, you need to leave. We got to keep Messi. But then again, we'll see what happens. Did you see the Rio Ferdinand tweet?
I've not seen what Real's put. What did Real put?
Just heard Frank Lampard is now in for #Messi. Some window this. Lamps pulls this off. This would be
no chance.
There's no way.
This is like FIFA mode for Chelsea.
Yeah, right I know it's crazy. When we just announced Chilwell today for 50 million.
50 million, my God.
Yeah. I know. Considering he was priced earlier before, I think it was just at the end of lockdown at 80 million. I'm amazed we got it that low. And then we've got Thiago Silva having his rumored to have his medical tomorrow.
Yeah.
Medical tomorrow. What's Malang Sarr, is it? The French centre back?
Yeah, who's got him as well.
Coming in and on for a free as well. I mean,
Ziyech, Werner,
yeah.
Havertz. I don't think you had a summer like this since was it 2005?
You brought in 9 players, didn't we?
Yeah, you bought the league. You bought everyone who was available. When this is the same. It's like a statement from Abramovich. It's scary to think he's back on the scene again. Really.
Well, no, the thing is though, like Abramovich actually hasn't put in much money this transfer window. Like if you look at, we sold Hazard, we sold Morata. Morata paid for Werner. Hazard we sold for like just over 100 million. So that's already Ziyech and Chilwell paid for. We're still hoping to offload Bakayoko, Batshuayi.
Yeah, apparently you're selling quite a lot of other players.
And I know it's a lot of money spent, but we've also got rid of a load of players for a lot of money as well.
This is the difference in squads. I mean, I've got 6 players I want out of United. I don't think we'll scrape 60 million together for them. That's the difference. It really is. We are so poor at negotiating with transfers in and out, especially wages. I mean, Dean Henderson has just signed a contract today for 120 grand a week.
120?
120 grand a week.
Bloody hell.
We've got 3 goalkeepers at the club costing us 600 grand a week in wages.
Oh my God.
I'm not even including Grant in that yet. That's just, it's criminal. This is what we've got running Man United at the moment. 600 grand, over $500,000 a week in goalkeeper wages.
Yeah.
I
did see something about, apparently Havertz, his wage is going to be ridiculous compared to everyone else's, isn't it?
I haven't seen anything about that.
Apparently, the other highest ones, like one of the other new signs, like Werner on like 170, and Havertz is all the way up here, like 310k or something.
I haven't read anything about that.
He's got a good.
It was on what was it? One of those. What's it like? 4-3-3 or something like that. One of those.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I don't mind too much if we, as long as we get him. And he looks unbelievable. And it is like I'm playing career mode.
I think that shows the difference between Tottenham and Chelsea, though. That Chelsea are willing to break their wage structure for a player. Tottenham is like, no chance, not doing it.
Yeah.
Which is why they're not kicking on.
They're not.
We're pretty much. I see us on the level with Tottenham at the moment financially. I mean, Tottenham have got the stadium burden, but. I mean, they took out the same loan United did, I think 150 million for running costs. So if we're looking at it saying that we took a loan out from the government for 150 million because of COVID, then where's the rest of the transfer money? Because if that's taking care of what we're missing because of COVID, then surely the transfer kitting must still be in the pot.
Yeah.
So where's the money going? Do you know what I mean? It's we've still got to go to the shop and buy a shirt for 65 quid. The prices aren't going down anywhere else. They're still ripping us. But it just looks like. And then a statement was. I've had Phil Brown on my channel before, and he works with ESPN. He's been in the game for 10 years, based over in LA, and he's posted up a reply he got from Manchester United, an email, basically saying that United have to be very careful this window, saying the circumstances with COVID means this isn't going to be a normal window for United. So all United fans at the moment are expecting us to be going in to the start of this season with no new signings. I mean, it's guaranteed now anyway, because anyone who comes in has to isolate for 2 weeks. Season's pretty much starting in 2 weeks. So we're officially starting the season with no one. It's crazy. They claim that Dean Henderson's a new signing in our club. That's what they'll do, and they'll celebrate that. But yeah, that's what's come out of the club today in an official email. So that's all over our fan pages right now. So it's not looking good for us. I'll be honest, it really isn't.
What's your take on the Sancho transfer? Do you think that's happening?
Maybe all our eggs are in that basket. Our net spend over the last 3 seasons has been an average of 60 or 70 million. If we do offload the players that I'm thinking, and we do buy Sancho, then it's probably going to be around about 50 or 60 million net spend again. And I think they can probably stomach that. I think it'll be Sancho at a push, and that's it. I don't see anyone else coming in. I can't. The money's not there. I mean, they've just signed Tom Brady up for 90 million in wages on a 3-year contract for the Buccaneers, our owners. So they've got money. They're dealing with it over that side of the pond. This side, I think we're suffering now. I think they've put their attentions back over there again now. That's where the marquee signings are coming in. Tom Brady signing up.
Yeah.
But no, we just look like we're not looking to spend any money. And I think that's where, again, I think it was Mourinho, 2018. We got second and we needed to invest. And we went out and brought Fred and Darlow. And we're doing exactly the same thing again. As soon as we get in the Champions League, we don't spend money. And it looks like the new Arsenal on paper, as horrible as it is to say, top 4 cup.
Yeah. I mean, you've hit.
I mean, taking it back to Messi, I mean, where do you actually think he'll end up? Do you think it'll be that he stays at Barca? Because like you're saying, it's quite political over there because there's like new elections next year, and they don't like the president and all that sort of stuff. Do you think
it's so corrupt over there? It is unreal.
Oh, for sure.
The fact that if you're a Barcelona fan, you have to bank at this bank, and if you're a Real Madrid fan, you have to bank at this bank. It's so football driven. The whole running of that and the way they spread the money out that the league makes, it just goes to Real Madrid and Barcelona. It's ridiculous how it's run. But the fact that Messi's actually got a say in any matter for the club is a joke on its own. Yeah. But he's got a big issue with Ronald Koeman. That I seen that last night. That meeting with Ronald Koeman did not go down well. He wants to cut all his privileges. I only see him going to somewhere like PSG.
I was thinking.
I think PSG or City would be the only places. I don't see him going anywhere else. I don't think anyone could afford him. He's going to cost a fortune. But if you go back to 2016, he sold 2 million shirts. If you think £40 profit on each one of them shirts, paid a year's salary pretty much, aren't you? In him, he brings so much money with him. That's how he pays what he gets. Really, he brings so much back, and I think it'd be a ridiculous record for a 33-year-old as well, wouldn't it? Yeah. It's Barcelona or PSG for me. I can't see anything really for a 33-year-old. There's no sell on. Even it is Messi and it's a PR stunt.
Yeah,
I think PSG probably because he gets to play with Neymar again, who apparently was his favourite player to play with after Ronaldinho, and he can just chill in that league, and he knows that they can go far in the Champions League, so he can just concentrate on that basically because he's desperate to win another Champions League.
Suarez as well has gone, hasn't he? He's got
Suarez is due to leave as well, so Barca have got some serious issues.
Yeah, and then I think we touched on it before. Is in another podcast was the fact that Barcelona are buying quality players like Coutinho, Griezmann, but they don't fit their system. They aren't buying players to go in their system, go in how they play. They're just buying players for the sake of buying players to make the fans happy. Which so it needs to be a big change at Barcelona for them to be back where they used to be.
They started acting like Real Madrid, and we all seen how that works out. That's what they did. I mean, that Bale situation is just scandalous. Absolutely scandalous. I don't know. 600 grand a week is enough to play on a golf course, I suppose. But it's literally, if you might as well just say he's on 600 grand a week to play for Wales at the moment. That's all you can say about him, can't you?
It is crazy.
It's such a waste as well. Like he's the player who scored an over a kick in the Champions League final. Like I don't understand why Zidane can't stand him. Because he was managing him then.
4 Champions League medals.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But he's never going to become a Real Madrid legend in Real Madrid eyes, are they?
No.
Which is obviously a shame because obviously he's been there for so long. And
he's a good player.
There's that Spurs dream right now, which I laugh at, is that they want Bale back, but it's never going to happen.
No.
No chance he's going back there. They'd never be able to afford him.
No,
they won't move their wage structure up for his wages. So.
They're owned by a bit of a tosser, to be honest. Like, did you see how he wanted to furlough a load of his staff?
Yeah. Liverpool did that as well, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they got shot down straight away for that.
Yeah, exactly. These are billion people who own these clubs are worth billions of dollars, and they can't, like pounds or whatever, and they can't afford to keep some staff in. It's like they'd never. That's why I like Abramovich. Like obviously I'm thinking about Chelsea. He will take money out of his pocket to make sure Chelsea do really well. With Spurs, they haven't got an owner who will, or Newcastle as well. They've got an awful owner. Their owners won't take money out of their own pocket to make sure they do well. They've just got it for money.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, Abramovich isn't without sin.
Oh no, of course not.
But yeah, I know what you mean. But I don't think any owner is without sin. So
no, exactly.
No, definitely not.
Well, from one sin to another, what's your view on the Maguire situation?
Oh God, I said a lot about this yesterday. My channel blew up yesterday on this one. The stories, so many contrasting stories coming out at the moment. How I left it yesterday, it was still raw from the verdict yesterday. So how I left it yesterday was, if he was just doing what everyone's reporting he was doing, he was protecting his sister, helping out his friends, whoever it was, from whoever was the Albanian mafia, whoever it was there trying to get involved, then I think he deserved a guard of honour. We'd all do exactly the same. But my issue wasn't that. My issue was the bribe side of it, which he's come out today and said he denies it 100% that even happened. His sister's even come out today. I don't know if you guys have seen what his sister's wrote today. There'd been no apology to the Greek government. The two stories are so different. It's ridiculous. It's like someone is blatantly lying through the teeth, and someone is being taken for a ride. It's one of the two. Who is the bigger power? For me, the only issue I had with it was that the bribe side of it. He's come out and denied it today. It's just put us in an awkward position now where a decision had to be sort of made. We've been told that he's not going to have the captaincy stripped, so the club are fully backing him no matter what. Whether that changes when it goes back to the trial, which we don't know when he's going to be now, then that's another argument for that time. But right now, a date's been set for his defence. It's all going to be done properly now and not like a big circus like the Greek government made it the last few days. How anything can be done that quick is crazy. I was no one even there. I don't understand it. I was trying to listen to everyone to break it down and how it actually works over there, but near enough everyone gets that suspended sentence. It's like just common law over there. That's how they deal with everyone. I think they just seen a chance to make a circus and they went for it. It's still not good for United. We don't need any bad press at the moment, and it's just depressing watching all the bad news come out all the time. But for me, I stand for what I said yesterday. I said, if he did turn out like he was trying to make them bribes and act the big one and try and be a power that he's not, then I do think the captaincy should be taken away from him. I'm not taking his football away. He's made a mistake, but he's come out today and denied it wholeheartedly. So it's innocent until proven guilty, as always. But as we expected in the first place, it's going to get dragged out now. I just think yesterday was a bit of a shock, to be honest. We just didn't expect news to come out that quick, and it took everyone by surprise, even Gareth Southgate. That's how you knew that no one knew what was coming. Because the fact that Southgate put him in his squad, I thought, oh, he knows something we don't. He's getting off with it here. Next thing you know, guilty, and it's all going crazy.
Yeah.
And then he takes him out of the squad. So I think we just got caught by surprise yesterday. We didn't expect it to come that quick, but the stories coming out from Maguire's camp today, more people are speaking now, and they're completely denying everything that the Greek authorities are saying. So someone's lying through the teeth. I suppose, I don't know. I'm not going to say money will exchange hands in time or whatever, but it's going to be one of them drawn out things again. And unfortunately, we're on the other side of it again, and hopefully it doesn't affect his game too much, because we need someone to go along with him. We don't need to lose him and then need to get another 2 defenders in, because we know we're not buying anyone. So yeah, it was one of them for me. It was just I couldn't believe what was happening all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, with the Southgate thing, I think he's been dropped from the England squad more for the. He may not have done it. It's more the, if he has, we have to make sure we aren't liable with England, especially. Obviously, there's always so many stories of players and things when it comes to England. Like, I understand him being dropped even if he wasn't guilty, but obviously you've hit every point in the head every point on the head with every nail on the head there.
Every nail on the head, yeah.
Yeah, that was you explained it very well there. Clearly was quite fresh for you.
Yeah, it was a shock.
Yeah. I think it's interesting with the England squad, because you would probably say that he's the leader in that defence.
Yeah.
So who's going to step up now for England is the thing.
I have no idea.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even pick that England backline right now.
Oh no.
I don't know. It's one of them. But we forgot what it was like to watch international football. I don't know who's good and who's not at the moment. You sort of lose track of. I mean, certain players you can think are definite starters, like possibly Kane, Sterling, and then I'm thinking, who else was there? Especially in defence, it could be any one of what was. Gomez was playing. Chilwell was around there. Walker, does he come back in? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would hate to be in Gareth Southgate's position right now.
Yeah.
It's
so mixed up.
Yeah, it's also promising from an England standpoint to be like, oh, there's so many players. Like, but then again, you don't want the thing like in the past where you've got all these fantastic players, but none of them gel. So yeah, I would hate to be England manager right now. Should we get onto the your kind of history interview, as we call it? About United. We'll start off easy. Can you tell us about your first live game when you went to United? You remember that?
Oh yeah, I can. I was stood up. There was no seat. That says everything about my age. And it was against QPR at Old Trafford. So yeah, now you're going back. I remember it because one of my favourite players when I was watching United early days, even before I started going watching him, Mark Hughes scored in the game. And all I would say was it was a time when men played football.
Oh, yeah.
It really was. It really was. I seen things going on them pitches that you just would not get away with these days. The atmosphere was twice as bad, twice as good, and I think it was half the capacity of what it is now. I remember that. But then again, that was when it was, like I said, it was working class still, and it was real fans in the stadium. I'm not saying everyone who doesn't go to games and all tourists don't deserve to be there, but it was just hardcore fans in the stadium. That's what I remember more than anything. And there being no seats around me, that's just crazy.
Unlike at City.
That was it. I remember it. I remember the walk. I remember everything going in. QPR, I think it was 89-ish, 90-ish, somewhere around that sort of time, I think.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I guess it's your first game's always memorable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you remember the score?
Talking,
Oh, sorry.
I think it was 3-1 actually.
Fair
I
enough.
do remember 3-1 to United because I think my dad took me out of the stadium just before the end, and I think QPR scored a consolation goal, and we heard the away fans. So yeah, I think that it was 3-1 definitely. I'll have to look that up actually. Now you've got me thinking now.
But yeah,
what are you saying, Ben?
we were talking about. So you're saying about like the proper men back then. Like we were talking about like Leeds coming up and the games against like United and Chelsea in like the FA Cup finals, and they just used to smack each other basically.
Oh, I can tell you right now that anyone who thought that City and United was a rivalry or City and Liverpool was a rivalry, no, I can tell you that for a fact now. Them boys coming up this year, that is hatred. There's nothing like Leeds against Man United. There really isn't. It is horrible. It is horrible. We had warnings last season about doing our fan camming outside the ground by Leeds fans because they thought they were coming up last year. Right. They were already threatening and warning us then that you won't be doing it. So yeah, it's a shame because I can't even remember. The fixtures came out the other day. I can't remember when we were playing Leeds, but I feel sorry for them in a way that they can't actually be in the stadiums after being away for so long because they are passionate fans.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not taking that away from them. I'm a bit gutted that they can't actually be in the stadium. So I'm looking forward to it. I just hope by the time we have at least one of the games that we have got some, I don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen in the world, do we? But we pray that we're going to get the fans back in.
Yeah.
And that is one of them games and like you said then, Ben, it was, even on the pitch, you felt every tackle. It was just brutal. It was brutal. You could hear studs clattering together, shin pads and
bones.
I mean, I can remember I was watching Cantona play against United for Leeds. That's how far back I can remember as well. Before he came, and he was unreal then. So yeah, it was. I'm looking forward to that rivalry coming back again. I just hope it's some form of fans are in the stadium, a bit of normality is back by that time as well.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, of course. Favorite ever game then you've ever been to, if you had to pick?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one now.
Really making you think.
That is really tough. You know what? One that always sticks in my mind was, I don't know if you guys can remember it back, the 5-3 at Upton Park, when Beckham did that lovely chip over David James. I don't know how old you are or what you can remember.
I think I might be a bit too young for that.
Put it this way. West Ham's midfield was Michael Carrick and Joe Cole.
Oh.
So that says a lot.
Yeah.
Considering where their careers have gone from then.
Oh, yeah.
That's how long ago it was. That's when I seen Carrick for the first time and thought, decent player. But I'm sure we had Nicky Butt and Roy Keane in midfield that day. And you know what? We could go anywhere and we could be hated, but the temperament and the mentality of them players was just, they had Ferguson behind them in every single game. You could see it. They were scared to lose.
Yeah.
They weren't scared of anyone. They were scared to lose, that team. But I got on the Red Issue coach at about 6 a.m. in Manchester. We was drinking straight away. I can remember horrible little things like the toilet overflowing on the bus. It was, fans were coming on the bus when we finished, battered, blood red, because we got kept behind an hour, kept outside the ground an hour by the police. It was all kicked with them. And then I got home and I was wrecked. I was finished. I'd never been so well in my life, but it was a crazy day. I can remember that one like it was yesterday, and that was years ago.
Yeah, well, I've never actually been able to experience an away game yet for Chelsea, which is a shame. But I need to experience one very soon.
I've been Stamford Bridge. That was fun.
Yeah.
It has been fun going there recently. We've had some good results.
Oh, the 4-0 at the start at Old Trafford, and then you beat us. I won't get into those ones, otherwise I'm going to start chatting out my arse. In your opinion, give us your top 5 greatest ever United players. I'm already pretty sure I know who a lot of them are, But give us your top
Is
five.
it from like when I've been watching them?
Yeah, we'll say your era.
Oh my God, I think most of them are taken up straight away from when I first started watching. Because I've seen the likes of Robson play, Cantona, God, even Schmeichel for what he did.
Yeah.
But five, oh my God, the 90s kind of kill it, because I know you've got the likes of Ronaldo and Rooney, but then I've got to drop down to Giggs, Scholes, Keane, Cantona, and there's players in there that I can't even mention. I mean, I still love Andre Kanchelskis. I love Van Nistelrooy. I can't even put him in the top five. That's scary.
There's so many players.
Yeah, there is too many, but Keane has to be in there, Scholes has to be in there, Giggs definitely. I can't even fit Beckham in, and I love Beckham. Ronaldo, wow. I've actually watched one of the best players play. Yeah, I've watched one of the best players in the world play. So, I'd say them. Keane, Scholes, Robson, Giggs, Ronaldo. That's five in it already.
Giggs, Ronaldo, yeah. Wow. That's a hell of a list.
That 90s and noughties teams, those were...
you can't get past it.
Powers.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask you, I mean, we've literally just touched on it. What was your favourite era of football?
For me, the 90s was different, Graver, because we touched on them before. There was like men playing.
Yeah.
I still remember what Ryan Giggs said when he first came on, and he was having trouble. I think it was against Wimbledon, and Robson went up to him and he said, "What's wrong with you?" I remember the interview like it was yesterday. I remember he said, "What's wrong with you?" And Giggs said, "This guy here, he's in my head. He's not giving me a minute. He's giving me loads of grief." And Robson went, "Go and play in centre mid for 5 minutes." And he went and played on Giggs' wing. And then he came back to Giggs. 5 minutes later, Giggs said, "Go back out on the wing now. He won't be troubling you again." I'd say it's brilliant. It's just the age and the era of just being able to do something like that and look after a young player, leaders like that who would have no messing. It was just because I knew United were men, because they were never intimidated by Wimbledon. Wimbledon used to
the crazy lads, wasn't it?
Crazy gang, they used to get right. Liverpool crumbled against Wimbledon all the time, but when United showed up, they could rough and tumble it with anyone. As good as they were, the 90s by a mile. I can remember watching Sky Sports for the first time when Premier League started, and the coverage. Oh God, I'm showing my age now, but yeah, I'm going with the 90s. That was my favourite era.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I can see why. We had a similar interview with my dad, who's a Chelsea fan as well, and he said noughties, but that's obviously because, let's be honest, Chelsea weren't quite the same team they were in the 90s as they are in the noughties.
Yeah, got that bit of investment.
A little bit of investment.
Just.
All right, kind of touched on this with your first game, but can you remember your first memory of United, like your first top? Like, can you remember wearing your first top or your first memory?
Cup Winners' Cup. I remember the Cup Winners' Cup final against Barcelona when Mark Hughes scored 2 goals in Rotterdam. And if you watch the game back, the goals were quality. The pitch was horrendous. And the technique with them old style mitre balls, that sticks in my mind. I was in primary school when that game was going on. I do remember losing the league to Leeds. I remember being upset about that as a little kid. That was the last ever championship, League Division 1 championship. We lost to Leeds because we went and won the first Premier League the next year.
Yep.
I just remember I even went to Main Road and sat in the city end with my granddad one year when they played Norwich. There's all sorts of memories of football, but for United, it's definitely, it has to be, I'd say that sticks in my mind. I can remember all the way through was that Cup Winners' Cup final. I do remember that vaguely, and that was an epic night. That I remember watching that on normal TV as well. Jesus, when we only had 4 channels. You guys are making me feel old tonight, I'm telling you. No, that was if you get a chance to watch that back, I'll see the footage of that game. You'll know what I mean. by Mark Hughes, especially his second goal against the Barcelona team. And that again, that pitch, them balls, there was nothing. It was just old school football, and it was just one of them. That sort of set the ball rolling. Obviously, I can remember Lee Martin. I can remember Ian Wright coming on the scene when we drew 3-0 with Crystal Palace in the FA Cup final.
Oh, yeah. I've watched the clips of that.
Yeah, Ian Wright burst on the scene for Palace. Mark Hughes kept us in the game. And then Lee Martin on the Wednesday night scored the winner in the 90th minute in the replay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they could go back and back. They keep popping up.
Lee Martin grew up around the corner from where I live.
Yeah.
Like, because there's the My Road just there, Victoria Street, and then it's Welsh Road just around the corner. And he was like, grew up on this street. So that's a little bit of trivia for you.
Crazy.
But it shows the sort of, those are like, that's like when it's, my fans like local boys, like, get into the first team, because it's like you have that connection sort of thing.
That's it.
Why it's so good. I mean, I know Rashford's getting a bit of stick at the moment, but I think even though I'm a City fan, I think he's a fantastic player.
Yeah, it's a lot of the time. It does. You don't. It's the opinions from the other fans that count, and are the ones that are really truthful and the ones that are on point a lot of the time. Because you look at it not with your tinted glasses on, and that sometimes you've got to take them opinions on board, and they're the ones that really hit home. So I can understand that totally.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, speaking of homegrown, for City anyway, got Phil Foden coming through now, and you played with him, didn't you, Ben?
Yeah, I played because I played a couple of games with him. Yeah, for City's academy. I was on trial there.
Nice.
I didn't get signed, but I did play a couple of games with him.
Well, I've met Ronaldo in a bar in Manchester and had a chat with him. So I've met one of the best players ever. That's my claim to fame. That was, believe it or not, that was the night after Mourinho came on the scene when he burst down the touchline for Porto when we got beat by him.
Right.
The night after, because Ronaldo got injured in that game, and then I was out, and he was in a bar with his agent. So I just thought, I'm going to take this opportunity. Anyway, I went over. His English wasn't that good anyway, but I still went and did it, and that was my claim to fame.
What about you, Tom?
Me, I know no one, so that's that.
It's time to come. His time will come.
Yeah, it will. Hopefully. What was I going to say? I was going to say I can't remember. No, I've gone to many Chelsea games. I've seen Messi play against Chelsea and lose in the 2012 Champions League. That with the 1-0. That was incredible in terms of like watching one of the best players ever play. But no, I haven't been lucky enough like you guys to actually meet someone one-on-one.
It'll come. There'll be that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have that sort of connection with the like younger players getting into the first team at Chelsea? Like, or is it?
What do you mean by that?
Like when you've seen like Mason Mount playing Tammy Abraham, you like fantastic.
Yeah, no, I'm all for it. It's just getting weird the fact that they're my age.
No, I mean like everyone will be for it, but I mean like you like, or you feel like you've got a bit more of a connection with them.
Well, yeah, they are my age, which is like 20, and like they're 21. Like it's kind of a surreal experience because obviously you're used to being the young kid watching all these older people play, and then you've got all these youngsters coming through. Half of them are now younger than you. I mean, you've probably already gone through this, but it's great. I love it. There's nothing I wouldn't change apart from having known them personally.
Do you find that you criticise them more as well, like you were saying?
I'd say Chelsea fans are slightly too lenient on them at points.
Okay.
I'd say, well, at the same time, like we will critique them. Like Abraham was not on form after he got back from his injury at all, and everyone said it. Reece James, everyone was like a bit umming and ahhing on. Mount, everyone loves. I mean, he's Chelsea through and through clearly. and he's had a fantastic season. But I guess at points we can be quite lenient to them because they are our young boys who are coming through, which is nice, and there's so many of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of. I hope I answered your question there. What was your favourite goal then? Scored that you were there for?
Wow. That could be anyone. So many. I'm trying to think of one that really mattered. God, it's hard to say. There's too many. There really is too many. I've seen some blinding free kicks, some crazy solos. Oh man, what was it? I would say no, I wasn't. It's not. Some of them I weren't there for when I was younger, but they sort of seem to stick in the memory as well.
Yeah.
But I would say I honestly don't know. There's too many of them. I can't even answer that question because I can remember losing it so many times, absolutely going off because it scored 2 in a minute, or you just, you know what I mean? There's so many that I can't even answer that question. No, sorry.
It's fine. All right. Well, let's go from a high point of yours to, I guess, a low point. What was it like the season that Ferguson left United?
Forget that, mate. It was the season after. The low point has been David Moyes. Always will be. I'll never erase that from my memory, even though I've tried several times. That was just like, it was. The drop down in standard was just ridiculous. I never ever forgive the man ever. That would be my ultimate low as a United fan was hearing that man say United should aspire to play like Manchester City, having been the champions already. That was devastating.
Yeah. Wow. The other United fan we had on last week in the top 4 debate was saying that he thinks Ferguson's only mistake, or one of his, was to suggest Moyes. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. If you had any say in that, then he needs to take some flack for it because it was a shocking decision, and it ultimately set us back about 5 or 6 years straight away, and that was a problem.
Well, do you not think it was almost the fact that Ferguson was so good? I mean, like the team he won it with was at the end was, let's be honest, it wasn't a very good team. But
I know.
You could have still got a better manager.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, it's almost like there would have been no manager that could have been as good as Ferguson was, and there was always going to be a drop off.
If he got a better manager, there wouldn't have been as much of a drop.
Of course, yeah. So, I just wanted to know.
Yeah, it's like we should have got Mourinho that year instead of Chelsea getting him. If we'd have got Mourinho, we wouldn't be this far behind, I don't think, because he still would have commanded the respect and got the respect to the players, whereas Moyes didn't get any because he treated them like Everton players, and that was his downfall. His downfall.
Yeah,
fair enough. I'm kind of taking you on a bit of a roller coaster of emotions with these questions, but back to a higher point. Obviously, I remember this as well because involving Chelsea at the 2008 Champions League final where Terry slipped and you won it. You probably remember it a lot better than I do, considering I was 8 at the time. But I guess touch on that, I guess.
Yeah, I remember that night. I was in Greece, funnily enough, that night, drinking raki. I was wrecked. I'd never been so ill in my life celebrating that win. And you know what? We still sing the song now about John Terry from that night. So, yeah, that was emotional. That's when we thought we are going to kick on and be dominant, because that team we had then was scary strong.
Oh, it was so good, yeah.
It really, really was. We had so much talent and strength. We had everything we needed to make the perfect team. And it sort of drifted from our ultimate days from that cup final, even though I think we went on to win again the league. But
Yeah.
Then it showed against Barcelona in 2009. Then that the new age was coming in, and that was Pep Guardiola's Barcelona team. And then we had no chance. No one was going to be able to compete. The fact that Messi come out in an interview and said that they went off the pitch after being beaten by us in the semi-final, saying we've only been beaten by Manchester United 1-0 over 2 legs, and they were really happy with that. That pretty much summed up where our United team was then. And then the season after, they dicked us.
Yeah.
And that was it. They never looked back from that moment.
No.
And that was a new age coming through. We didn't realise at the time how good Barcelona were going to be. But that was it. That was our last real success, our last age of dominance, I would say.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
With the game itself, were there points where you thought maybe you weren't going to win this?
I thought Chelsea were lucky in the first half, to be honest. I think we were battering Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got that scrappy goal. Lampard got that scrappy goal. And I thought, you know what? And then Drogba got the red card. I thought, it's swaying in halfway. And then Ronaldo, I think it was there was a moment when I thought it was gone when Ronaldo missed his penalty, obviously. But then John Terry slipped and I knew we'd won instantly.
Yeah.
We jumped up and
everyone
started celebrating because that moment there, everyone knew. You didn't have to be there and you knew that the game was done.
Mm.
And then as soon as I seen Anelka step up, I thought, yeah, that's it. That guy's been to Arsenal, that guy's been to Liverpool, that guy's been to City. He's been to every single rival club that United have got. He's the one who's going to miss this penalty. I think that was it.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, it was a shocking pitch. I mean, I don't know if you could see it on the TV. It was a shocking pitch to have a Champions League final.
Oh, it was.
But
it was lashing it down that night.
Yeah, I mean, I only really remember from the TV. I think the Terry miss very, very vaguely. But then obviously there's the replays, that kind of stuff you watch nowadays.
Yeah.
Speaking of trophies, what was the first trophy that you saw? Well, you did mention it earlier. It was the Cup Winners' Cup.
Cup and FA Cup final. Yeah, they were my first ones I remember.
Good memories?
Oh, epic. Absolutely epic memories, them. They were just scenes. It's just as a young lad when you had no care in the world and didn't have to worry about anything else but football. And that's what it was. That was beautiful. Yeah. That was what it was. That's how I can remember.
Could you have imagined that it was just going to keep on going up and up for United from that point?
Yeah, you could tell there was a momentum. You can always tell a momentum with football, and that was the moment. That was when it came, and you thought, you know what, we got that first trophy, then we went on. Then as soon as we got the league, that was it. You could see the young lads coming through, and the strength that we had in the team we already had in place. Then you knew something was coming. You knew there was a sort of age of dominance coming. You could feel it, that they had that arrogance about them, and we kept buying. It's like when we won the league, we went and bought Roy Keane, and then we brought everyone else. It was just, we're buying players, and this is what United fan standards are. You see, this is what they think and expect now, and it's gone so far from that. But that's what we used to do. We used to always improve the team. As soon as we won the league, we went straight out and bought a player. Who's going to make us better? We bought 2 or 3 players. Bang, bang, in they come. Even when it was one player, it was a decent player. I remember when Carrick came in and then sat alongside Paul Scholes, it was just like Ferguson knew. He already knew like months before who his player was to improve the team that he knew was probably going to win the league that season. And that was like the quality of the manager.
Yeah, which is, fair enough.
That was United's thing that back then was they would buy the best in the Prem. Yeah, like they would find the best players in the Prem and they would just get them. There would be no like and ahhing. It'd just be like, right,
go out. We need him. Let's go and get him. Go and get him.
Yeah.
Listen, I've got a shoot in a second as well, boys. Sorry, I've just run over a little bit. Sorry.
No, that's fine. We've got literally 2 questions. I've got down. I don't know what Ben's got. Best team. If you had to pick a season where you had the best team in.
That treble winning team was scary. That was scary, that. And you wouldn't have thought of some of the players in there. But the fact that we didn't have Scholes and Roy Keane in that team on that night in Barcelona,
Yep.
says it all. It really does. The fact that we had the choice between Solskjaer, Sheringham, Cole, and York as a striker. Oh man, that was that team. You can't really say past that, because that's a team that won the treble.
Yeah.
Something that's never been done. So the stats say it all, really. To win 3 trophies in a week like that against the teams that we played on that Champions League run, we had a tough run in as well. We had some really hard teams. We had Barcelona that year as well. We had Barcelona, and I'm sure we had Bayern as well. Didn't we? We had so many tough teams against us. It felt like we earned the Champions League that year. We beat everyone who was anyone to get there. In the end, we beat Bayern Munich, who, as we all know, have always been there and thereabouts, and are one of the best, proving it now again.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Ben, have you got any questions you want to ask?
I mean, it's a classic City fan thing, but I mean, you'd say we're taking a roller coaster. Take you back to 2012. On the last day of the season. Obviously, I know the feeling of on the winning side, but I don't know what it was like when that goal went in.
It was surreal. It was almost as surreal as the 2 goals in a minute in the Champions League final against Barcelona, but the opposite way. It was like, what? How has that just actually happened?
Yeah.
It was. I can't describe the feeling, because you sat there, and I've got a lot of City mates, and you just want to smack them in the face. You did. That's all you wanted to do. But you were like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I want to go and curl up in a ball somewhere and hide. I didn't want to answer anyone's phone calls. It was horrible. It was absolutely hanging. I'm not going to lie.
Fair enough.
Horrible feeling. Worst I've felt. One of the worst I've felt, actually. That's probably one of the low points, you could say, that I've had.
Fair.
All right, I've got one last kind of quizzy question. You mentioned this guy at the start, and I was like, oh, he knows him. Name the player that's played in the United City derby, the Liverpool-Everton derby, and the Rangers Celtic derby. Do you know who he is?
Is that going to be Kanchelskis, that, isn't it?
Yes, I asked
Kanchelskis.
Yeah, I asked one of the guys I was working with today, because he's a United fan, what should I ask you? And he's just said...
I know that because I love the guy. I mentioned it because he was a flying winger. If you get a chance to watch that guy, he was just an out-and-out winger. He was like Bale. He put the ball past you and do you for pace. He wasn't so much the flair. It was just pure, brutal pace. And then on the other side, we had Lee Sharp at that time. So it was... Oh, yeah. It was men. It was men. That's what it was. It was quality. And you know what? If you went out for a drink with them guys, now you'd have a top night. You really would. Imagine. I don't know about the modern day team. I think it'd be a bit dull, to be honest. But you went out with them guys. Oh, that was a different time. But yeah, Kanchelskis, top man, Ukrainian wizard. That guy, I tell you.
All right, Ben. Is there anything else you wanna touch on before we wrap this up?
I mean, I guess, like you're saying, it was your lowest point for 2012. What was your highest point? Would you say it was the treble winning?
Yeah. Enough. You can't even describe how to win a game like that. You know, with what Aguero did, like the last kick of a game, but to do it in a minute, so close together. We were still bouncing from the equaliser, thinking we're going to do these in extra time now. The momentum shifted, and we were planning our strategy for extra time. We're thinking, we're going to do this, and then it just went in, and it was just like, speechless. Spear went, everything went crazy, and you had no words. There was nothing inside you. It was like when you can't stop laughing and your stomach aches.
Yeah,
just gone. It was just a surreal feeling, but the best in the world.
Cool.
Great. Well, we'll wrap it up there. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. Make sure to check out Mad Red United down in the description. It's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you for coming on.
No worries, mate. Anytime.
And make sure to check out the Blue Podcast merch, which has been released the day that this has been uploaded. So big things for the channel. And I guess we'll see you guys next Thursday at 4 p.m.